today is the day that. First, let's just appreciate how big this bonnet is. Anyway, these bad boys, it's time for them to go. It's time to go. Because I know y'all see that. But look at that growth. You see that. It is time, like, bruh. So today, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take these down since it's my day off. Oh, my kitchens was hurting so bad. Like, literally, girls who decide to get hair like this long past the booty, I don't know how y'all do it. I'm literally pulling the mess out of my hair. And this is what the result of it is. I gotta take my freaking braid out before I'm supposed to because I feel like my hair gonna rip out of my head. But at the same time though, look at this growth. Look at this growth. Okay, anyway. So I'm gonna take these out. And oh shoot, I forgot my scissors. But while I'm taking these out, y'all finna get a story time about me moving to 3 different states. Well, moving between 3 different states within a span of 2 months. I'm rounding, so basically 2 months. So yeah, let's get into it. It was March of last year. That's where we're gonna start. And basically, ooh. Oh, I look kinda cute. My hair like this. Okay, no, I'm not keeping them. It's time for them to come out. Okay, anyway, back to the story. So, March, it was the week before spring break. I was at school, so we started off in Wisconsin. Everybody talking about, Miss Rona and how just in case because all the schools around us, they was already like, yeah, no, we closing the school down. Like, y'all gonna have to work, like, y'all gonna have to do y'all classwork from home and stuff. But our school was like, nah, we feel like we gonna come back after break. So, like, but just in case, make sure y'all bring all y'all supplies with y'all back home for spring break. Mind you, I'm an out-of-state student. So, for spring break, I wasn't going nowhere. I was just like, okay, I don't need to bring all my stuff because I'm still on campus. And basically, like, what happened was, it was spring break. Spring break came. We chilling. It's the first week. Khalil flew out to come see me and chill with me for a little bit. And it gets to, like, Wednesday of that week. And they was already talking about in the beginning, like, when it was like, oh, yeah, bring all your stuff home. They were saying, oh, we might get an extended week of spring break. So that's what happened. We got an extended week of spring break. So it was like, oh, okay, 2 weeks spring break. And I should have been doing my senior sim project, but I was not the first week. I was like, I'll just do it all the second week. Anyway, so then they hit us with another email talking about, we decided we gonna close the school down and y'all got to go. And they were like, if you're not an overseas student, then you got to go too. Unless you want to, like, hit us up with a special circumstance saying that you can't go home, then we'll, like, accommodate you. But they wasn't really accommodating them because we still have to pay for our own food. They wasn't opening the commons up, which is the, like, main cafeteria there. And so I was like, I guess I gotta go home then. I was just like, wow, this is such short notice. So, like, now I'm getting evicted from my freaking dorm room, basically. And so that night, the last night before Khalil left, I was like having him help me pack. So I got my car out there and I'm like, okay, how am I going to get my car back to California along with all my stuff, along with myself? So then, because they were talking about, they were scared, like everybody's saying, oh, they might shut down the airport. And I'm like, okay, like if y'all shut down the airport, then I'm gonna have to drive home. Mind you, the farthest I ever drove was from like the Central Valley of California to San Francisco. By like me driving. My dad, my freshman year, he drove us to Wisconsin. Him and my mom drove me to Wisconsin. But I didn't do none of the driving. So I'm like, how am I gonna drive cross country by myself? My dad decided to ship the car. So he called this moving company to come pick it up and ship it back out to California. They were supposed to come that Sunday, right? Let's just remember that. They were supposed to come that Sunday. On top of that, I needed to get off campus soon because that weekend they had alphabetized the whole school and was like, people with the last names of A to C, y'all come on this time, come this day at this time to get y'all stuff out of y'all room. I'm like, okay, I really have to be off campus by Sunday. But the thing is, I still had to get a flight. I had to get a ride to the airport. And I had to get somebody to drop my keys off for my car to those mover people because they didn't come until the middle of the next week. And I was already gone by that time. And this one lady who started working at the Cultural Diversity Center, I was talking to her. I'm glad I ran into her because she was talking about like they have like a little food bank so then we could get free food from there. So I was telling her my situation and she was like, I don't fly back home because she's from California too. She's like, I don't fly back home until the next weekend, I think after the last week of spring break for us. And she was like, so you just gotta let me know when the car people come and I could drop your keys off to them. Then I had to still figure out my dad had already bought me a ticket, and I had to figure out who's going to give me a ride to the airport. So I hit up my favorite professor, and I was like, look, this is my situation. I hit him up heckling that night, too. I was like, this is my situation. I need help. Can you give me a ride to the airport? And he was like, yeah, of course, sure. So everything was finally going, like, according to plan towards the end, but I was still mad because the movers people was talking about, yeah, we going to get here this day, and then show up until the middle of the next week. And mind you, I still had to do my senior STEM project. And that thing was due Friday the first week back. So I'm like, this whole time, the first week I was chilling, started panicking toward the end because I had to clean up my room and get everything situated. And then the middle, the next week, I'm over here traveling and stuff, trying to get all my stuff sent back to me. And it was just crazy. I ended up doing pretty decent. I got my senior STEM project done and I got through it. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And so now we in California, right? I'm still waiting on my stuff so I packed all my dorm stuff. I got rid of it, gave some of it to friends, and then the stuff that I wanted, I stuffed into my car. So I had to wait for that. That car did not come back until the next week after that weekend or something. So now I'm home, waiting for my stuff, doing my projects and all this classwork. And that's another thing that really got on my nerves because one of my professors, she known for doing too much, way too much. And she decided, since we're not on campus anymore and I feel like we're not going to be able to finish all of our lab stuff. So she decided to pile on tons of homework and all these projects and stuff. And I'm like, girl, your class is not the only class I have. And I got senior seminar because you, one of the teachers in the senior seminar. So once I finished my senior sem project, turned it in, got a decent grade on it, whatever. The whole time, mind you, I'm at my parents' house in California, I'm like that freaking girl on the lofi study beats who just be sitting in her room doing homework all day. That was literally me. It was ridiculous how much homework they decided to, like, that one professor decided to add on to all the stuff that I already needed to do. I have my biology degree now, and that's another story too that I'm gonna get into. I almost didn't even graduate. Crazy. He hit me up with an email talking about, oh, I'm sorry to inform you this, but they checked my progress towards graduation, right? And they said that I was still short some credits and that I might not graduate. And I was just like, did we not just have a meeting right before spring break? Literally, like that Friday before spring break, we had a meeting. Okay, so while editing this video, I realized that I made one mistake. And I don't know why my brain did this, but I didn't receive an email like telling me that I was 3 credits short during finals. During that meeting that I just talked about, that's when I was informed that I had 3 credits short and I wasn't going to be able to graduate. So I received that bad news before the whole drama with moving out of the dorms and all that stuff and spring break even happened. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm missing some credits. And so they're like, yeah, you're going to have to take some classes. And I was so mad because I'm like, what the heck am I going to do now? Because before, in the beginning of that semester, we already had to talking about, oh, you have to get an extra class so you could still be on track to graduate. And then you tell me that I am on track to graduate and I'm good, I'm in the clear. Then you turn around and be like, hold up, wait a minute. Is it 22? Pew. You got another class you got to do. So anyway, long story short, because this is a really long story, they gonna say, because I was hitting them left and right with emails talking about, is this class okay? Is this class okay? Because I had to do, like, I was going to go to a community college out here online and send them the credits for that class. And they were like, you know, we have decided to give you some credits, like some free credits, so then you won't have to worry about it. Because I think I had like 3 credits missing or something like that. So they gave me 2 credits. And then I hit them with an email like, oh, thank you so much. Like, but what am I going to do about this extra 1 credit? I still got 1 credit that I'm short on. And they're like, oh, all you got to do is like just talk. And she could grant you another free credit to get rid of that 1 credit that I still was missing. So I said, okay, hit her up. She said, you know what, bet. Here's your credit, girl. So after that happened, I was in the clear. I got my degree, but I did not get my degree. Hell to the no. Because they was holding that thing hostage for a good few months, because I did not get my degree until late October, early November. Because they were like, oh yeah, we hope to see you at the rescheduled graduation, because our graduation is supposed to be in May. And then they said, oh, how about we just do like a winter one and y'all come here in October and we can have like the whole ceremony. That October graduation got canceled. Then they were like, oh, since we can't have this, like have your diploma be an incentive for you to come to the actual graduation, because I was not going to go to that graduation. Got me messed up. After all that, you think I'm going to go out there just to walk on the stage? Is you paying for my plane ticket? Is you paying for my hotel room? I don't think so. And once I got it, I was just like, you know what? I'm glad I'm done. I'm done with all that, because that was just too much. And the reason why my credits was all messed up was because I tried to transfer my junior year. I transferred to another school in Wisconsin because I couldn't go anywhere else, because my private school doesn't have general ed classes. They don't have general ed classes. They decided, oh, we're going to make our own like general ed classes and call it something else. And with them doing that, that traps everybody who go there. If you're a freshman, that's the only year you could really transfer out.
But you did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
these other classes that they have, they don't transfer over. So literally when I transferred over, the people at the other school were like, oh yeah, you're going to be like, I think it was like a first semester junior or something. So I had like two more years or 3 more years. I don't know. I don't remember. But I really did not have all the general ed classes. So it pushed me back of quite a bit. And when I got there, something happened with like the math placement test. I did not know I was gonna have to take the math placement test. And the lady gonna hit me like the day that I was registering for classes and stuff, and was like, oh yeah, you got to take the math placement test within a week. Come back in a weekend and take it. And I'm like, girl, I have not had a math class. The only math class that I took over there was elementary stats. I don't even remember what I ate yesterday, and you expect me to remember all the math that I learned? You tripping. And so I took the test. I didn't do very well on it, and then so I had to end up taking like 2 extra classes just to get into one biology class. And I'm like, why? Why is this necessary? I took the stats class that you told me that I needed to take, and now all of a sudden, because this math test saying something else, I gotta take 2 more classes. And then they was talking about, oh, since it got messed up or whatever, now I got started all over as a freshman, like a second semester freshman. I said, you got me messed up if you think I'm finna be out here in Wisconsin for that long. I was just like, you know what? I was crying. I was talking to Khalil. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, at this point, I feel like I should just go home and freaking start over there. It'd be better off that way than trying to do all this extra over here in Wisconsin with all these people who don't who want to say one thing one time and then the next minute turn around and be like, oh, actually I forgot to mention it. So what he told me was, he said, why don't you just come back to this school? And I didn't want to, but the lady was trying to tell me, if you go back to your old school, you have no chances of becoming a registered dietitian. Because that's one of the main reasons why I transferred to that school, because they had an accredited program. So she's talking about, oh, I know that sounds very expensive, like if you stay here for that long. So why don't you try, I can help transfer you to an online school. You do some online classes for I think she said 2 years or something, then come back here or something like that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
Please explain to me how that made any type of sense. So what I ended up doing was, I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to go back to this other school because I don't got time for all this mess. So I went back. Basically, I got back, and then they were I got my classes, but then I was still short a class. But then when I was talking to my advisor, my old advisor, because I just went back to him, he was saying that all I'd have to do in order to stay on track was to have one semester where I take 5 classes. That was it. And that's what I did. But second semester, senior year, it's a whole nother story. They ended up, letting me graduate or whatever, and then I was done with the school. So now I'm out here in Arizona. The only sad thing is, I would say, once you graduate, I didn't think I was going to get post-grad depression. For me, it's always everybody's always saying, you got to work hard for what you want to get. And that's what I did. I did 4 years of hell over there in the Midwest. And I'm thinking, it gets ugly before it gets beautiful. So where is the beauty at? Because I already went through all the ugly, right? No, I come out here and I'm not getting anything for, the career path that I decided to go with. I love animals. I love the environment. Whatever job incorporates that, hey, hit me up type of thing. But out here, it's straight desert. So, and I know the desert is one of like a different type of environment, whatever, but there's not a lot of like jobs that, you know, need you to do stuff with that. It was hard. It was hard in the beginning. And then especially like being able to go home was nice, but all I was doing was just being pent up in my room doing homework. So I didn't even really get to spend time with them actually and like enjoy our time together. And then just fully doing like a quick switch and be like, all right, I'm done with school, bye. Let me go live over here where I don't have any family except for my husband's family. It was just like kind of rough in the beginning, but now like what this whole situation has taught me is that even though it's really a lot of ugly going on, the beauty of it wasn't supposed to be, oh, you know, my outcome of getting my dream job. It was actually the whole, we're going through all this traumatic stuff, but hey, look, now you don't have to worry about going to a JC anymore because everybody's dealing with too much stuff to try to deal with that situation. They give you a free pass type of thing. I got this beautiful apartment. It's nice and spacious. I can have my dogs with me. And that's the beauty from that I received from this type of situation. You gotta find the beauty in the little things. And that's what I have really learned from just 2020 as a whole. It's just that right now, everything is uncertain. There is no guaranteed anything, and we just really gotta appreciate everything, every little thing that we do get. And that's what I've been doing. Like I plan a little bit, and then I just jump into it. And that's what I did with moving out here to Arizona. And as of right now, I'm a little on the fence about how I feel about this place. It kind of feels like California in certain areas. But then once I got here and I met the people in the area that I'm living in, it's just like, I think I might have came at the wrong time, but we're not going to get think too much about it, and we just going to see how it goes. Hopefully, I don't know, it gets better, but at the same time, maybe I just need to find another area out here in Arizona to figure out if I truly, really do like living out here. But as of right now, stuff is starting to look up finally in Arizona, and I mean, that's all I can ask for. I know this was a really long video, but I mean, I knew with this story time I was going to kind of like vent a little and kind of not really get off track, but just be kind of scatterbrained because it happened so long ago, you know, and I was just saying it from off the top of my head, and my brain likes to remember stuff last minute out of nowhere. And so I need to really get into doing my hair, so I'm gonna watch some videos and get this done.